This week, we'll be talking about the Halo Infinite multiplayer technical preview.
Classified information on the Challenger 2 tank has leaked online in an unlikely location.
And we talk about this month's slightly delayed retro gaming club title, Perfect Dark.
Welcome to episode 34 of the Retro Gaming Dads podcast, the weekly podcast for everything retro and retro-inspired. Today, it's me and Anthony, and Phil. I forgot Phil, sorry.
Thanks. Yeah, just forget about me, it's fine. It's not like I'm sat here.
That's a great intro, I quite like that one.
How did I forget about you? You sat there staring at me.
I don't know.
Maybe you blocked him out.
I mean, it's not like you've known me for like the past 30 plus years.
No, I think all it is I just got a bit overexcited that Anthony was actually here for another one.
Yeah, it's true. We don't see Anthony very often on these.
Yeah, Phil's just become part of the furniture now.
I don't feel like I should validate that with a response, but I have to talk, so...
All right, then. Well, I am sorry for forgetting about 1/3 of the people that do this podcast. So, before we jump into a bit of news, and we finally talk about Perfect Dark.
I know.
Our Game Club choice from
July?
June, was it? Or July?
I thought it was June.
Was it?
That makes it worse. I thought it was July.
Yeah, especially considering I don't think any of us actually completed it.
No, I actually think I've got the furthest.
Did you? What?
Makes a change.
You got over halfway. Well, yeah. just before we jump into it, as we normally do, what have you been playing this week?
I've been playing a bit of Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, that is exactly what you said last week.
I know it is, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
He's been stuck on it, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I played a bit. I used to play quite a bit of Final Fantasy 12 on the... was it 11?
11 was the other MMO, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, 11 on the Xbox 360 until I realised there was no achievements for it and thought, what's the point?
Hey, there's achievements for 14.
That's the only reason Barry plays most of his games. Achievements.
It's true.
I myself have been playing some Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries. Really enjoying it because it's big-ass mechs going around just destroying other mechs.
Is it better than the PC version? Because I only really played that one on the PC and I wasn't that keen.
The UI doesn't seem as bad, trying to get into a mission.
Right.
It seems like they've cleaned that up a lot. Don't know whether they have for the PC version, but it makes more sense on how to get into a mission. Control-wise, it works perfectly well with a controller.
Fair enough.
Absolutely no complaints there, to be honest.
Yeah, I think a controller would probably suit it quite well, because you'd have one stick for moving, one stick for turning your turret. Again,
I haven't played an awful lot of the Xbox version, but I did jump in, was it 5 matches with you?
Yeah, we did about 5-6 matches. So
yeah, I only know it's 5 because I got an achievement for it.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah, you also siphoned off an achievement as well, I did.
I also leached one of your achievements, didn't I?
Yeah, there's a team for killing like 100 of an enemy class, and he got it as well as I did at the same time. I was like, hang on, you've been playing this for barely any time.
It's almost like that time where you spent ages completing the Momodora without being hit.
That was
on the hardest difficulty.
That was absolute. I completed that on the hardest difficulty without. Was it without dying or without being hit?
It might have been without being hit.
Can't remember. And it didn't give me the achievement. He played it. He wasn't even on the right difficulty, or he died or something, and it gave him the achievement.
That's harsh.
Yeah, I've no idea how that happened, but...
In all fairness, I did get that achievement. I started playing through it again, and just randomly it just popped. It just went, here's your achievement. We feel sorry for you.
Ta-da! Delayed.
Well, you've also been playing something that neither of us two managed to play.
Well, yeah, for about 40 minutes.
Still jealous, though.
So normally, this is the point where I go, I've not had time to play anything. I've done my dailies on PSO2, and that's about it. Well, I've done my dailies on PSO2, and that's almost it. I did get to have a go of the Halo Infinite technical preview, and I must admit, I'm actually quite excited for it.
Well, you were saying you was really impressed with some of the more technical aspects of it as well, weren't you?
Yeah, it looks really good. So I played it on an Xbox One X, so not a Series X. It was a One X, and yeah, it looked really good. I was impressed.
From what I've seen, it looks really good. I was watching someone do, I think it was like a sniper firing range.
Yes, so you can go to the firing range and pick a weapon to try out.
I mean, the sniper rifle looked like a sexy beast. And I was watching the firing range. It sounded and looked amazing just from that. I've seen some of the multiplayer as well, and I'm really jealous I didn't get to try this out.
Yes, well, I only got to play 3 matches and only got to see 2 of the 3 stages that were available for it. I did also have a very brief go on the firing range.
Right.
And first match, jumped in. I was like, I'm against bots. So it was 4 players v 4 bots. Ran in, first one, wiped the bot out dead quick. Thought, I'm a bit hot here. And it massively went downhill from that point. If it weren't for the fact that it identifies them as bots, I wouldn't have realised they weren't other players. I'll give that to them. They play like people. And if you underestimate them, they are going to mess you up.
You were saying, and it sounds... you showed us a video. Okay, that's the only way I can describe it. You sent a video to us, and I was in awe and in shock, but then couldn't help laughing as well because I did not expect a bot to take the mick out of a guy so much and just wreck him.
Yeah, so is that the video where the guy sees the bot hides behind the pillar, he goes to go around one side, it pops out the other side, so he changes his aim to that side and goes round, and the bot's gone, he turns around, it's behind him, melees him.
Yeah. He was just playing peekaboo, came around and just killed him. That was it.
Honestly, those bots, quite a few times I'd watch like another player shooting down on one of the bots. One of the stages, it's a new Mombasa, I think it is set in. So it's like streets, and really quick off topic, the detail in like just the stickers on the wall. You go into a cafe and there's a Wi-Fi code on a post-it note on the wall.
Wow.
In the cafe.
That is awesome detail.
And chickens running around, which unfortunately I didn't get to shoot, but I am sure that you can actually shoot for all those people that want to.
One takeaway I am getting from this, though, is when AIs take over the world a la Terminator 2 style, they're going to teabag us.
In all fairness, I was actually expecting them to teabag me at one point.
What, seeing a kill cam and then just see him teabagging and walking away?
Kill cam, and going back to them looking like they are real players, the way they move. I had I think it was either shotgun or the sniper rifle, and the AI killed me. And I dropped it, and it ran over my corpse. But then, on the kill cam, as I see it run over my corpse, it stops, backs up, switches to its pistol, and picks up me, whatever it was, the shotgun or the sniper rifle that I had. Like a normal player would do, as they run over and go, oh, no, I'll back up and get that weapon. But when it was backing up, I thought it's going to teabag me.
Here's where 343 have trolled us all along, and it was actually 343 staff playing.
I said that to him, but he didn't think so.
No, it's I'm fairly certain they are actually bots.
Well, I've seen a lot of reviews, and everyone's complimented on how well the bots were and how surprised they were. But then also at first, when they first went up, they were destroying quite a bit. And then someone said as if they turned on like a boost mode, and they just went for it, and they said it was just ridiculous after that.
I never played it at the beginning. My matches were right on the tail end of Sunday that I played it. So I don't know how they were initially. They weren't hard as in, like, it's unfair. Like, if you play Halo 5 and you're playing Warzone and there's a hard AI, like whenever that, what is it, the Warden Eternal comes, it's hard because it's just an absolute bullet sponge. These aren't hard for the same reason. These are hard because they will hide. They will flank you with teammates as well. Going back to what I was actually saying before, the amount of times I saw someone shooting down into like the courtyard on that new Mombasa level, and then AI at like scale up the side of the building through a window and come up behind them. So that it was flanking them. Little things like, I was waiting for the sniper rifle to respawn on one of the stages. It respawned. I legged it for the sniper rifle, saw an AI running towards me as well, so started shooting at the AI, and bloody AI used a grapple hook to pull the sniper rifle to them.
Oh,
It played really well. I did miss not having the Spartan charge, or Spartan tackle, whatever it was called.
it's interesting they removed those.
Yeah. Also,
You said the
way
dodge
you
as well's gone.
yeah, as far as I'm aware, the dodge is gone. Unless maybe
That's
you
sad.
can pick up a piece of equipment that gives you the boost pack again or something. The grapple hook seems pretty cool. It's not something that you start with, it's a piece of equipment that you can pick up. Good thing is you can use equipment whenever you want. So if you pick up the overshield, it doesn't activate straight away.
Right.
You actually carry it with you, so you can wait, and once you're under attack or once your shield's about to run out, then you can activate it, yeah.
Okay.
So it gives you a few more options. But no, overall, I was really impressed with it, to be honest.
Now, you
It does
said
sound really
that-
impressive.
Yeah.
Well, you said you had a lot of options with the customization. They gave you credits, and you could go through customization. You would talk about some of the AIs and colors you have in that.
Yeah,
Can't
so,
be pink in this one, though.
wow.
No, not pink.
That's something I noticed. There's loads of Easter eggs hidden within the game. So one of the stages is something like a Sergeant Johnson Academy or something like that. I can't actually remember what it was called exactly. I was like, oh yeah, call back to earlier Halos. If you are going through selecting the color of your Spartan, one of the options is Lightish-Red, which is blatantly pink, which for anyone who watched early Red vs. Blue will probably get that reference.
If you don't know what Red vs. Blue is and you love Halo, I suggest to watch it.
Yeah, Rooster Teeth. I'm
Absolutely
pretty
amazing.
certain anyone who's vaguely aware of Halo is very aware of Rooster Teeth.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I am. But yeah.
Yeah. But
One
no,
thing
no,
I was thinking
it's
when you mentioned about
really
the Wi-Fi password, I wonder if that password might be Easter egg somehow. If it's because it's a smaller post-it.
I thought the same thing. In all fairness, thinking back, I don't even know if it says Wi-Fi password. I think it just says something like password,
Okay.
Interesting.
but I couldn't find. Well, I couldn't find anywhere to look. But I only had 3 games, and I had AI just absolutely
Hounding
wrecking
you.
me. Yeah.
Did you manage, though, to get in a Scorpion?
No vehicles.
No one there.
No, they were the 2 stages I played were very small stages. One of them was like in a town with like a little courtyard in the middle, so you're going through like buildings.
Yeah.
And the second one was a training facility, which you do see vehicles outside of the map's bounds, and you see a pelican that flies over every so often. But there's nothing to actually get in. No turrets, no vehicles. So I haven't experienced any of them yet.
I kind of feel like maybe they might do another multiplayer test towards the release. Still quite a few months away, and
Yes.
I'm sure they've done bigger scale multiplayer tests than this, because there's been
Absolutely.
4v4
I'm sure
is
they will
very
be.
limited. So I'm sure they've done like 16 versus 16. Is it 16 versus 16? It's 8v8, sorry. But they've definitely done bigger
Well,
ones.
I'm sure they'll do another technical preview or a beta.
And that
closer to
might
the
be
time.
open as well, so get me in.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
Just hopefully they won't do it by having to pick up a copy of Crackdown and to actually get into it like they did with Halo 3.
Yeah, let's hope not.
We have 3 cupboards of Crackdown in the house for that.
But no, I'm excited for it.
Can't wait.
I think we all are for this one, to be fair.
Yeah, one thing I will say, and I haven't looked into it because I don't want to spoil anything, but apparently people have data mined the PC version and they've got some spoilers or at least some information about the story. So if you are wanting to go into it quite fresh, just try and stay clear of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't actually go looking for it. I just saw that it was out there.
Yeah, I saw the title somewhere and thought, I'm not clicking that. Not ruining it for me.
No. But talking about leaking classified information, you saw this one, Phil, didn't you?
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I had to include it. It just had to happen. So the restricted classified information and technical specifications for the Challenger 2 tank has managed to find its way online. The circumstances for it to come online, though, that's where it gets interesting. So, the War of Thunder is obviously it's a game where you get vehicles and fight. There was an argument online, and somebody who works for the MOD, to prove his point that the Challenger 2 in particular, in War Thunder, is not accurate, released the documentation.
This is basically the ultimate. Well, actually,
the nerd fight.
Yeah. Exactly. This is like, well, my dad works for Microsoft and he's going to get you banned. Well, no, you're wrong, because I work for the MOD and here's classified documentation.
I've got the specs of the tank, how you'd like to see it, because you're wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, what goes through someone's head to do that?
The developers basically come out and said, stop putting this on our forum. Because we will get in trouble for this being on our forum for distributing the information.
I know. I mean, it's impressive that this has happened.
Yeah.
But wow.
Well, apparently the guy claims to have been, was he a Challenger tank operator, was he?
Yeah. He said he was a gunnery sergeant.
Right.
Which the fact he's got actual information on the tank probably lends itself some credence to him.
Even worse, a Challenger 2 tank commander and gunnery instructor. So
surely,
well, I'm guessing he's either retired or fired now.
Probably from the tank.
Yeah. Air quotes going with the retired. Don't worry. Come on, Kleiner, get in the barrel. Let's go.
So, I like the way is it Gauging, the developer?
Yeah.
I like the way they said, we do our best to make it as realistic as possible by using source material when it's legal and unclassified.
Yeah, I mean, at what point do you think, right, I'm in the army, I'm a gunnery instructor, I'm a tank commander. Part 101, the thing I signed, the non-disclosure agreements and the Official Secrets Act and everything that I've signed. I need to win this online argument. This person's wrong.
Not only that, okay, that's one thing that really puts through, but the fact that the pages even had restricted on them as well.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
But yeah, this was a brilliant one. It had to appear in the podcast.
Oh yeah. Someone really wanted to win that online argument.
They really
I guarantee you, it was a little kid who was also having the argument against us as well.
And not just 11-year-old.
11-year-old talking about tanks goes, no, you're wrong, little man. Check this out.
Yeah, the other guys going,
why'd you get fired?
Read them.
Well, it's like, why'd you get fired? I got into an argument with an 11-year-old. I had to prove I could win.
Released classified documents. What? Are you like a double agent? No, it's just an argument online with a kid.
To be honest, it's understandable to a degree.
But I'll tell you what, I won that damn argument.
Exactly.
I shut that kid up.
Nice. Well,
I'm not sure how we're topping that.
I don't even know how to go on from there. So I suppose
the next two bits of news are kind of like interesting, but nothing compared to that in the slightest.
They'll leave our listeners hungry.
We should have left this till the end.
So the next two pieces of news, companies doing their part to keep the population a little bit chubbier than they should be, is McDonald's Australia is trying to find something to do with a whole load of PlayStation 5 controllers, which they have customized. And if you're into fast food and McDonald's particularly, look pretty cool. Lots of nice bright colours. Now,
they don't look cool.
I quite like the
colours. Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a minority here. I think they look god awful.
Well, it is. It looks as good as a PlayStation 5 controller can.
Yeah.
But I believe they got these customized for a competition, was it? Or a giveaway of some sort?
So they were doing a stream. So it's their 50th anniversary in Australia.
Yeah.
And so they thought, what can I do with this? Sort of McDonald's being there, obviously. So they decided to custom make these PS5 controllers with the McDonald's branding. You got burger and fries on it, that sort of stuff. And they started doing a stream, and they were doing competitions with it as well. And Sony were very quick to turn and say, stop what you're doing, you can't do that. And said you can't give this out. I mean, I was talking to Barry about it today, and we were saying that we are pretty certain that they would have bought these controllers and then customized them separately.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be official controllers, aren't they?
You've got to wonder, though, why didn't they approach Sony and say, we want to do a giveaway? Is this okay that we used your licensed material for a giveaway?
I don't think
Xbox wouldn't have minded, but just Sony being a pain.
No, Xbox don't. The amount of times Xbox on Twitter are like, oh, look at these custom controllers. You know, you can win one. They look awesome or something.
Well, they did it with KFC, didn't they?
Yes.
There was a KFC Xbox controller.
Was there?
Yeah.
I just remember the KF console. That's all I can remember.
That's it. I was about to say, that's what I'm thinking of, I think.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's the fact that they've customized controllers and gave it away. I reckon it's probably going to be more... I didn't see the stream, so I don't know, but I would imagine it's probably more an issue of they used the PlayStation branding on the
possibly.
stream, and that's likely what they had issue with. You know, in case someone thought, oh, this is authorized, this is sponsored by PlayStation or so.
Yeah, or maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that'll probably be more what they had issue with, not the fact that someone's drawn burgers and fries on a load of PlayStation controllers.
You've got to wonder, though, how many of these PlayStation controllers have they got
I was about to say.
to give away?
Yeah, what are they going to do with them?
Well, I have no idea. Probably, I reckon they'd be just probably giving them away to staff or something.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Maybe.
Though, much sweeter.
I see what you done there.
Good link.
Is the Microsoft teaming up with Krispy Kremes for the Xbox donut.
Yeah, and I believe this is also a competition running as well, that if you buy a box of donuts, you have a chance of winning a Xbox Series S.
Yep.
Yeah, and I believe it's two. Is it 2 a day? I think it worked out.
Is it that many?
I thought it was 60 consoles I saw that they're giving away. But I don't know, I might buy some Krispy Kremes. I've never actually bought any in my life. I've had loads.
Okay.
Well, I used to
people bringing them in?
Yeah, I used to get a lot of suppliers and reps would bring boxes of donuts in. There's only 2 things that people working in retail like: free food and a pen. And Christmas
Not
off.
sure about the second one.
Oh
no.
God, the amount of pens I've got from trade shows and for free and all sorts.
Yeah, working in retail, your pen will go missing. If it's not another member of staff, it's a customer who will steal your pen.
I have branded stuff all over the show.
So it's Phil's one of the thieves that nicks the pens in.
No, he just hasn't had them stolen from him.
No, I've not had them stolen from me. I get them from trade shows and the like.
Yeah.
But no, absolutely branded tat, as I like to call it. But
now, when I saw the trailer for
genius.
this donut, it was a very serious trailer. Very soon went into donuts.
Oh yeah, with with the ergonomic curves and streamlined
sleek
interface.
design.
Yeah. And then it's just these people, like, as if it's almost Apple-esque, weren't it?
Yeah.
The way they were talking. I was expecting Johnny Ive to pop up at one point. And they just sat there going, we've put a lot of work into streamlined design of this product. And then the next one is just this guy with like half a donut in his mouth going, it tastes right.
He's powder all around his mouth. He's just like, delicious.
And
you're like, where did this come from?
Microsoft have really been on the ball with the online presence of late, I think.
Yeah.
We will make sure that we put the trailer into the show notes so you can see it.
Oh, definitely.
Was great to watch.
Just slightly related to this, I've not put it in the notes, but I'm sure that I think it was Brazil are running a similar promotion. And a lot of people are thinking that they've let slip Halo Infinite's release date.
Oh?
Because they're doing an Xbox donut as well. and they tweeted out saying, "Why wait till November? Celebrate a Halo with our new Krispy Kreme donuts."
Oh.
However, some people are saying that either they might be alluding to November for the release of Halo Infinite, or November for the 20th anniversary of the Halo series.
It makes sense for them to release Infinite on that around then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
In all fairness, I think November tends to be when they do release Halo anyway. However, I think it's also the same month as Forza, so would they want two of the big titles launching in the same month? You know, would they not want one in October, then one in November?
Yeah.
And at least get some playing one and the other one.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
That's interesting. I
Either way, actually, I just want it to come out, to be honest. I'm looking forward to it. Go out, buy it, even though it'll be on Game Pass.
But you can go out and get you the donuts.
Yeah, I know. I'm not really a donut person, though.
Yeah, but your office will love you.
You've got to be joking. I ain't buying it for the office. No offense, Anthony.
No worries. Hey, look, in all fairness, you treated me with a sausage McMuffin the other day, and I really appreciated it.
Oh, yeah, actually, in all fairness, you give me a cookie and a sandwich today from Greg's.
That's true. Me and Barry give stuff to each other, just no one else.
Yeah. I've no idea why they think there's a bit of favouritism going on in that room.
I just want to know why you're giving Barry your sausage in the office.
He didn't say anything about giving me a sausage.
That's what he said.
No, he didn't.
No.
You've got a really dirty mind.
I'm sure he said you two were sharing sausages in the office.
No.
What?
He said I got him a sausage McMuffin, and I said he'd give me a sandwich and a cookie.
Oh, right. Sandwich. Okay.
Phil, get your head out the gutter. Pervert.
I don't even know what to respond to now.
Right.
Now, before we go down this gutter hole with the food and that,
Before we go into Perfect Dark, though, please, if you are enjoying the podcast, take a moment, give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe to us, and write us a review. You can also find us on the likes of Patreon, our website, and other forms of social media. And all the details can be found in the link below.
so it's been a long time coming, but finally we're getting to Perfect Dark, our game from 2 months ago.
Yes.
Yeah, and none of us have completed it.
Well, in all fairness, we would have done this sooner had you two not just been swanning off on holiday,
Whoa.
Just because we
relaxing,
enjoy holidays.
taking time off work. God.
What?
You think you're entitled to it or something?
It's
You're off
Anthony
work
who's
next
off on the
week.
holiday.
You went away, didn't you?
I went away, yeah, but not
Didn't you
in the
go away
midst of-
twice?
Yes, you did. Yeah, you did. He went away twice.
Yeah, you went
Within
away
the
for a
space of,
week,
like,
and
2
then
weeks.
didn't you go away for your wedding anniversary or something?
Yeah, shock horror. I went away for my wedding anniversary.
Yeah?
Yeah, but you're throwing all the blame
Still
on me.
went
It's
away.
not just my fault.
Anyway, Perfect Dark.
Perfect Dark. Now, I played Perfect Dark Zero, not Perfect Dark. I really enjoyed it, but I think one of the things I enjoyed the most was the potato hands. Yeah, and also no mouse moving at all. So there's full-on serious dialogue going, and there's just like
It
a
was
mouth that's
N64.
closed.
Serious dialogue.
in
How
all
cheesy
fairness-
is that game?
In all fairness,
know.
we all played it on the Xbox 360 version.
Yes, you did.
Yes. Right. Bear in mind, those character models are vastly improved over the N64.
Oh, yes.
Like, significantly improved.
I noticed how much nicer it looked from what I remembered.
Yes.
The levels, though, more mazy than I remember.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh,
Some of them just seemed so cryptic, didn't they? There were some
well, you
stages.
completed some levels, and it would say completion time should be 2 minutes and a half, and you were like, I took 11 minutes on this mission.
Well, yeah, there was one mission in particular, which I think all of us had a little bit of trouble on, which was the one where you've got to save Elvis.
Oh,
The
I
Yeah.
didn't. I
Did
somehow
you not have-
stumbled into it.
Oh, that
No,
mission.
You stumbled into blowing up the wall.
Yeah,
No. Oh, the blow in the wall was easy.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then I stumbled into where he was in that room. Like,
Oh,
I found
see-
the door straight away.
I at first did not pick up the disguise, And then I was just walking around for about 10, 15 minutes looking for where to go. Didn't realize that the two doors you need to go in are kind of like hidden into the wall. They are different from every other door on the stage. Yeah. No other door on the stage looks like them. So I just thought they were wall paneling. Then I picked up the disguise and my time ran out, so I failed the mission. And then when I finally did complete the mission, my previous attempt was like 35 minutes and I failed. But when I did complete it, it was like 3 minutes to complete the whole mission. I was like, oh, what's going on here? And I think the following mission, I think one of you two got a different end to the mission than me.
Yes.
So you escaped on the hover bike, didn't you?
Really, really confused me because, I escaped from a hover bike. So I got Elvis and Elvis went out and Elvis flew off in the ship with the other guy. And I'm sat in the base going, what am I doing? And I was talking to you at the same time, Barry. I'm like, okay, how do I get out, Barry? He's like, what do you mean? They flew off from the ship. I'm like, no. I'm in the base still and the ship's left without me. And I'm like, what do I do?
What happened for you, Phil?
I got in the ship and the other bloke got on the bike.
That's what happened to me. I covered the other bloke while he pressed the switches. And then he flew off in the hover bike while I went off in the UFO.
Maybe I ran off to go do the switches, and because I did the switches, he went off in the ship.
Yeah, but the guy says I'll do the switches.
Yeah,
that's why.
Because they told me to do the switches. So
I didn't understand because I just stood at the bottom of the ramp shooting the guys as they came in the door at the top and the door at the bottom.
I know what likely happened. Because we're so much better, we killed all the enemies. So the guy felt he was safer to flick the switches rather than leaving Joanna
I killed
to do
the enemies
it,
and then did the switches.
Yeah. We only got, me and Anthony only got halfway through. I don't know how much further you got, Phil.
A few stages after.
Yeah, because we did Air Force One.
Air Force One mission. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, I just went around and killed everyone in the plane. And you two were like, oh yeah, they help you out in the gunfight afterwards. I'm like, oh right, maybe I shouldn't have killed them all then.
Yeah, because I walked up, spoke to President, and then Barry tells me the next day,
I knocked them all out.
Oh right, it wasn't just me then. Yeah, I knocked every single guard on that airplane out.
Yeah, me too. Every single one. Out. Yeah.
Yeah.
You two are sadistic. What the guards don't listen to you.
I didn't kill them. I knocked them out.
Exactly. I'm perfectly certain that suffering a head injury so severe that it renders you unconscious has no lasting repercussions.
But plane crashes afterwards anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So the men die regardless.
Exactly. If anything, we did them a favour.
Yeah, they were helping me escape by shooting the guys coming onto the plane anyway.
Oh yeah, but it's less people for you to shoot then.
It's true. This is true. One thing I will say, I think modern controls make it a bit easier.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or significantly easier.
Rather than having the janky controller for the N64.
There's nothing wrong with that controller. It's the fact there's nothing wrong with the controller. The design of it. It's the fact that it only had one analog stick. Even on the Xbox version, if you hold the left trigger, you'll go into aim mode.
Yes.
At least now you can move and aim with dual analog sticks. On the N64, you couldn't unless you had two controllers.
I definitely feel it made the game significantly easier doing that.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't like about the game is how much of an aim assist you have.
That was an absolute necessity, though, on the N64. Because don't forget,
you couldn't understand that.
You couldn't look and move at the same time properly.
Yeah, so you had to have that kind of snappy aim.
Yeah. In all fairness, I didn't mind it.
I do believe there's a setting where you can turn down the auto aim, though.
Probably is. I think there is an option to turn it off.
Yeah, I recall there is.
Yeah. To be honest, though, it's how the game was designed to be played.
Yeah.
It's not as if you're playing a modern game that's suddenly got this really aggressive aim assist on it. The game was designed with that in mind. Because it's same as on GoldenEye as well.
It effectively is GoldenEye too.
Well, yeah, it's spiritual successor to it. Along with Time Splitters, which I suppose is also another spiritual successor to GoldenEye.
Same people, isn't it?
A lot of them, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's rare and free radical, I think it was.
Yes, it is.
I think the game, it's still okay. As you two have said, the stages are a lot smaller than I remember, but a lot more maze-like.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, the level after Air Force One, when Air Force One crashes, I don't know if you two did it.
I had to go on it. That's actually where I got up to. I ran round for a bit and started going through like a mountain pass and stuff. And the next thing you know, I'm back at the airplane where it crashed. I was like, oh.
That level was such amazing. There's even a part where it's literally pitch black and you have to use night vision goggles.
Yeah.
And then I think I got up to the level after that. I did that level where you're on a boat, which is really, really, really mazy. I literally went around the level about 3 times trying to find all the objectives.
Yeah.
And then that's where I got up to.
You said that's amazing. Obviously, with the one where I had a different ending to you two, obviously I got the hover bike. And I started taking the hover bike and trying to figure out what the heck I had to do. No, whatever, like about 5 minutes flying through the corridors on this bike, literally non-stop going around, missing all the enemies, shooting around, and then they appear outside. If I'd have walked that, I cannot imagine how long that would have taken me. I then look up to see the spaceship fly off, and I'm like, that left 10 minutes before I even got away from the hangar. So how I'm out there at the same time, I have no idea. So yeah, it's a very mazy game.
You've got to remember the limitations of the N64. It didn't have a lot of RAM. Although actually, this game actually required the RAM expansion for the single player.
Yeah, I was going to say. Didn't need the RAM expansion.
Yeah. Was it a 4 meg RAM expansion?
Something like that. You literally slot it in the front of the console, didn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, 4 meg.
It was a lot back then.
That was a lot.
No, I know it was. It's just funny to think about that now.
Just think of it this way. That was on a console with 4 meg initially. And we're playing it on consoles with, 12, 16 gig of RAM?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. One thing I did notice a couple of times, if you failed a mission, it'd sometimes cause... Now, this is probably an emulation issue because we were playing it on the Xboxes. It would freeze, and I'd literally have to restart the entire game.
No, I never had an issue.
No. I actually had it where I failed an objective. Somehow managed to miss that it told me I failed it and carried on playing for about 20 minutes. Until I thought, I need to check what these objectives are, and it said it failed. Restart the mission.
No, it does allow you to play on, I think. Because I've failed objectives and it allows you to play on.
Yeah.
And then you get to the end, it goes, failed the mission, you're like, what?
Sadly,
I have to read it all again. You're like, oh no.
Sadly, we didn't manage to do any of the multiplayer because I do feel this is where the perfect Dark and GoldenEye games back in the day shined. They were amazing multiplayer games. And we didn't manage to really do any counter agents either.
We didn't manage to do any counter co-op at all. Sorry, counter ops at all.
Yeah.
Because that would have been amazing to troll Anthony.
Would have.
I always remember seeing this before it came out on the N64. And one of the features they were going to put into the game is you could use the Game Boy pack for the N64 to plug in the Game Boy camera, take a picture of your face, and map it onto the characters.
Oh God, that would have looked awful.
Well, yeah, it would have looked awful, but then again, the characters that they pre-put into the game looked awful anyway.
It's true.
I think that would have been pretty cool. You know, it was that time when loads of weird ideas were just being thrown into games. And at the time, Perfect Dark just had this ridiculous list of features that you didn't really see in many other games, like the ability to play in split screen, but one of you is the enemy.
Yeah, no game has done it since either, and it was such a brilliant idea, and it played really well.
Yeah.
One thing that I kind of was disappointed about is I thought there'd be a lot more sort of stealth to it.
Yeah, well...
There's stealth at all. Stealth is... Oh, actually, no, sorry, there was one mission. Actually, no,
I had a few missions where it was like, try and be stealthy. And at start the mission, and there'd be an enemy going, oh, intruder! And I'm like, oh, well, that didn't last long.
Yeah.
Who needs stealth when you've got guns?
So that was a bit of a surprise.
That's one place where the game actually excels in the selection of guns.
Oh, yeah.
There's loads of guns, and the fact that they all have... well, I think all of them have a secondary function, if not most of them.
Every of them has a secondary function, yeah.
I remember not realising what a secondary function did in one of the guns, and I threw it forwards, walked towards...
was it the dragon
bomb.
Super Dragon? Yeah.
Well, the Super Dragon's a grenade launcher.
I wasn't really paying attention. I walked into it. I was like, ow.
Did either of you two get the amazing, brilliant laptop gun?
Well, yeah, you got it on the mission with the president.
I actually didn't use it when I played through on the 360, but I do remember using it on the N64 in multiplayer. I just hide in like at an end of a corridor and setting it up as a sentry. And the far sight as well. At the time, that blew my mind that I could see through walls.
Yeah, couldn't it shoot through walls as well? I remember it being particularly broken.
Yeah, I think it might have. But again,
I do remember
this is
it being
from
a
when
very,
I played
very
this.
powerful rifle.
Oh, I was in high school at the time, so we're talking like 20 years ago. 20 plus years ago.
Are you sure it was that long ago?
Yeah,
sure it was high school.
Yeah, I was
college?
at high school. Because it was one of our mutual friends had a N64 with her.
If you two was in high school 20 years ago,
we weren't in high school 20 years ago. We were in college 20 years ago. Let me just check when this game came out. Because maybe I did actually go
I am
after high
sure.
school.
I am sure I remember playing this when I used to go to college.
No, you used to play this instead of going college.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, but people can't see your air quotes, Phil.
Perfect Dark EU 30th of June 2000. Yeah, so it would have been right at the end of high school.
Yeah. We literally would have been leaving high school.
Yeah, we would have left like the month after.
Yeah.
Just going back to you playing college. You playing games instead of going college. I always remember going that shop that used to occupy. I think is probably the best word.
Squatting?
Well, yeah, that's another good word, to be honest. It's probably a more accurate word. And that was actually the first time I saw Smash Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
We had it there. I was like,
yeah, we had the N64 set it with it.
Pikachu versus Mario. But yeah, I think I did play a bit of Perfect Dark there as well.
Yeah, I'm sure GoldenEye and Perfect Dark we played.
So I think we're getting to the question of, has the game held up to what you remember? Does it play as well? Do you enjoy it as much? Has it gone down? Has it aged well or not?
Go on, I'll let Phil go first.
So, there's going to be a couple of caveats here. If I was playing it on the N64 with the original control scheme, no, because the original control scheme was awful. With the auto-aim tuned down significantly and modern controls, yes, it is still a lot of fun to play. Especially with the fact that you had the unique idea of, rather than difficulty being a scale of enemies just get harder and do more damage, you actually got extra objectives that you had to complete as well, which I thought was a really nice touch that this and GoldenEye did. So overall, yeah, I would say it has aged pretty well, so long as you play it on a modern console.
Yeah, so you would not want to go back to an N64 with it in the slightest.
No, I wouldn't.
Look, you're about to cry. Go on, Barry.
Personally, I think that even if you played it on N64, I think it's still aged fairly well. I think the level design is probably the weakest part of the game now, especially considering modern games tend to give you more open environments to explore and a lot more paths to achieve objectives. I do think the Xbox version is definitely the best way to play it, though. But the auto-aim, to me, that's part of the game. Turning that off and playing it more like a traditional first-person shooter, a modern one, it just wouldn't feel the same. Sometimes when I'm just running out of a building and like escape as quick as you can, and I'm just like snapping from enemy to enemy as they jump out in front of me, that adds to the game. That makes me feel like, oh yeah, Joanna Dark is obviously like this bad secret agent, and that, look at that, I'm just running forward, going pew, 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 snapping between enemies without even moving me view apart from running forward.
I think the fact that we were playing on Agent helped.
I did play some on medium, not just the easiest difficulty. And as you say, enemies get a lot smart. Well, I say a lot smarter. They're still fairly rudimentary by today. I was trying to be nice. They're fairly rudimentary by today's standards. Because the amount of times I literally walked into an enemy from side on, and I'm like, there's no way this enemy has no peripheral vision whatsoever. He can blatantly see me.
Well, not only that, they take a good 5-10 seconds to actually be like, oh wait, you're an enemy. Oh, I better shoot you. Hang on a second. Oh no, I'm dead already. Like, by the time they actually even consider doing anything, they're dead when they look at you.
That ramp up from being completely oblivious to the world around them to engaging you, though, drastically shortens as you go up in difficulty. Even on next difficulty up, the second they see the firing, there's no like, oh, what's that? Oh no, you shouldn't be here. What are you doing here? Ha! The weather's quite nice this morning, isn't it? Okay, I'll shoot you now. There's none of
they
that
actually say all of that.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
It's like, what's that?
Nice day fishing, ain't it? But
playing the game, one thing that I couldn't get along with was the sniper rifle. I hated the mission with the sniper rifle.
That's because you had to use the aim.
To use an aim. Yes, it was absolutely horrible.
I actually can't remember this mission. Does it actively fight against you?
Oh, yeah.
Right,
yes.
So it is the normal aim. Yeah. That's one thing I didn't like about GoldenEye and Perfect Dark on the N64. If you wanted to aim to a certain point on modern controls, you just move the analog stick. Once the aim goes onto that point, let go, your stick will recenter and the aim will stay there. But this doesn't. It tries to snap back to where you were looking from. And again, it's a product of its time. And other than actually manually aiming to take out like the occasional security camera or something like that, engaging enemies, I didn't have an issue with the controls.
But obviously I didn't play the original Perfect Dark like you two did, but I did enjoy this. I thought it was a nice little game to get into. It didn't feel like I was playing a really old game that I wasn't enjoying. It did make me laugh with the potato hands, with the fact that it was like really sort of like, trying to act so serious, yet it was just like no expression, just eyes, nose, mouth, not moving at all or anything. And I think I was saying before when they were just hitting the keyboard with their fists and stuff like that. And, I did quite enjoy it because it was amusing seeing that.
Where are you getting the seriousness from? It literally had an alien called Elvis.
Well, yeah, that's true.
No, but it does, it does play it straight, though, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It does. But it feels at times like that playing it straight is for the comedic effect of playing it straight.
The whole thing is comedic effect.
No,
I always felt like Perfect Dark was a little bit tongue-in-cheek.
No, I didn't. I think it's more serious than tongue-in-cheek. Like, far more towards serious. I think some bits are tongue-in-cheek. Like the alien we called Elvis. Do you actually remember this game coming out originally, Anthony?
No.
I remember seeing this in magazines. It's like the internet web pages, but they're on paper, just in case you didn't know. And
I know what it is.
Honestly, this was one of the best looking console games at the time. It looked amazing. So going back to like the lack of facial animation and the potato hands and stuff like that, you've got to remember that at the time, this looked amazing.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Of the time as well, another game that came out and took the world by storm by how amazing it looked. And it was only, a year prior? Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy VII was good, like 2-3 years before this.
2-3 years, Final Fantasy VIII I might be thinking of.
And also remember, games like Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy IX even, they were all pre-rendered backgrounds. Yep. This was full 3D. Everything was 3D.
Yeah.
I remember, again, going back to the first time I played it on the N64, going around the Carrigan Institute and seeing reflections in the marble floor. That was amazing. That blew my mind, just seeing that I could see the reflection of the table and things in the room in the marbled floor.
That, and it was one of the first games, if I remember rightly, shooter-wise, that had bots.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think you could have like a 4-player game with a handful of bots in as well. Yeah.
I think you could actually have up to 8 players.
What if you had no friends, just bots?
Well, yeah. A lot of it was ahead of its time, and the graphics were about as good as they got about back then.
Yeah. I must admit, I weren't too keen on the new Joanna Dark model that they used for the Xbox version. Is it just me, or does it look like it's Rihanna?
I
Do
think
you
not
not think
for
that?
you.
No. I looked at it and went, looks like Rihanna.
No. I
No,
think it's just you. I'm with Phil.
Must just be me then.
Scoring time. What can you two give me of it out of 10 then? How do you think it's done?
I would give this probably a rather middling 5. It's a good game. By today's standards, it's pretty lacking though, but it's by no means a bad game. I just wish I had a chance to actually play through it, and that we had a chance to play the multiplayer properly as well, or at all, in all fairness.
Yeah.
See, that surprised me. I think it was going to go higher than that, because I'm actually going to say I'd give it a solid 7. But part of that might be my nostalgia of multiplayer and the fact that we didn't play multiplayer, which I regret, because I think that would have upped your score some. That, or it'd lower my score, thinking, wait a minute, why did I ever think this multiplayer was good? It's atrocious.
Oh, there's no odd job in this. I don't like it. No, my 5 is based on 5 being average.
Oh yeah, I totally understand it.
I'm going to sling myself down the middle of you two and go for 6. Because even though I've not played it before, I really did enjoy this. I thought it was quite a good game. I was talked about playing the good majority of it. But for it being an older game, I actually really felt getting involved in it, and I did enjoy it. And I was interested in playing the game, was really intrigued. I reckon, same as Phil, I reckon it could have actually scored more if we got time to play the multiplayer. Because if you were doing it where you're against me, I'll be there panicking the entire time, and it would add more fun to it if that was the case.
Yeah.
I'll be there running on the corridors thinking, yes, I'm going and going and going. But, as soon as you two are in the game, I'm like going, all right, who are they? Where are they? I'm going to die. And it just adds more to it.
Well, unfortunately, the counter co-op, I'm fairly certain it's only a 2-player affair.
Oh yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so one person's playing through the campaign as normal, and one person gets to play as the enemy. Once you kill that enemy, they just Matrix-style body jump into the next person.
Brilliant idea. Such a shame that no one's done it since.
Yeah, I can't really think. I'm sure another game would have done it. I just can't think of.
I thought you said Zero's done it as well, but I mean, still in the past.
No, Zero didn't have it. Zero didn't do it.
I don't remember it in Zero.
No.
But to be honest, I only played Zero till I got a second game on the 360.
Well, yeah.
I did complete it. I did complete Zero. And don't forget, there's a new Perfect Dark in development from Microsoft at the minute. Yeah, they announced it.
I thought we spoke about it
last year, I think. I think it was last year that they announced it. They didn't show an awful lot. I think they showed the back of a character silhouetted. Probably same reason that Outer Worlds 2 said, we'll show you silhouette because we haven't done the character design yet.
Most probably. So, middle of the road, a bit higher. But I think we all did enjoy the game. We wish we had completed it, but it was a fun game to do.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I just haven't had time over the last couple of months.
No, however, we need to make some time because for our next game that's coming up has actually been chosen for us, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been chosen by our one and only Patreon supporter. So a big thanks to Short Gizmo, who has picked Alex Kidd in Miracle World as our next game.
Give you a reason.
So you're really excited.
Yeah, give me a reason to actually open the Alex Kidd Miracle World DX that I've got.
See, I'll probably play this one on Master System-ish.
Yeah. See, the problem with that is you're not going to get the full experience of having to actually get up to walk to the console to press the pause button to go into your inventory.
What?
Well, the Master System. Have you ever played on a Sega Master System?
No.
I forgot about that.
No, right.
Not.
Well, the Sega Master System controller has 2 buttons and a D-pad.
Yeah.
There is a pause button, but is actually on the console. So if you want to pause a game, you have to get up and walk to the console and press the pause button on it. You can't just hit start on your controller or anything like that.
What bad design?
Well, that's not the best bit. You need to do it to go into the inventory. So pausing the game puts you in your inventory on Alex Kidd.
So basically you sit about a foot away so you can either use your foot or reach over.
Realistically, yeah.
I mean, welcome to 80s gaming.
Well, in all fairness, you say it's product of its age. The NES didn't do it. Sure, there will be other consoles that done it, but I can't think of any off the top of my head.
I think it was the next gen where the controllers actually had a start button.
No, the NES is the same generation, and that has start and select on it.
Does it?
Yeah. You've got start, select, A and B.
Oh,
Master
yeah,
System, you've got 1 and 2, that's it. That's the only
Yeah.
buttons other than the
The
D-pad.
NES. I know the NES controller, just not the Master System.
Yeah, but the Master System controller, imagine you got a NES controller, but you just take
Yeah.
start and select off it. That's pretty
Oh,
much
okay.
what it
So
was.
there's not an issue with spacing or anything because it's like the same size.
Yeah, they could have easy put in an extra button on it.
Yeah.
Just for start.
I don't know. It's a bit of a pain, but I do remember that having to get up and hit pause on the Master System so I could go in my inventory, select the item that I want to use. So
Now, before going more into it, because obviously we're going to be talking about this in the Console Retro Gaming Club. So I thought, we're talking, I thought, hang on a second. Better stop.
Yeah. Spoilers, neither me or Anthony have really played much of this game.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony, not at all.
No. So, I'm quite looking forward to this. Because it's a side-scrolling exploration, sort of. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
This at one point was going to be Sega's answer to Mario. This was going to be their mascot character.
Yeah. That never happened. Sonic appeared.
Well, yeah.
Which I bet you're glad about.
So stay tuned for next month where we will be talking about Alex Kidd.
Yeah, so we're aiming to talk about this in September. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, we'll see if we can actually get this one knocked out within the month like we should. But if you want to suggest future titles for us, you can either become a Patreon and leave us a message with your suggestion of what we should play as our Retro Gaming Club game, or you can leave a message on our website. I think that's it for this episode.
Yep.
So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Well, that's it for this episode. If you'd like to see more information on anything mentioned during this podcast, you can visit us at retrogamindads.co.uk. You can also support the podcast and get ad-free episodes at patreon.com/retrogamingdads.
Look at it. It's not pink. It's like a lightish red. Guess what? They already have a color for lightish red. You know what it's called? Pink. I hate you guys.